That's right. We're back at it, and over here we don't deal with any black magic. Alright, that's all I got. So, last time out on the first episode, kind of, introductory episode basically, is what it was, I did the draft where I drafted everybody to either Raw or SmackDown, got rid of NXT completely, and that left me with two huge bloated rosters for Raw and SmackDown. So before I get into Bad Blood, I thought I would show off a couple of things that I have done with the save since the first episode, and one of those being the addition of Main Event. This is not an exclusive brand or anything like that, it's simply just a show where I can just put random wrestlers in matches in different segments maybe, just to help them develop, especially if they're not getting time on Raw or SmackDown. And as you can see, Raw and SmackDown, if you don't remember, there were like 102 people on each brand. Some people I sent back to the training roster, but a lot of people I ended up just releasing. A lot of these people are people from NXT that I just don't know at all or have never heard of, so it's not like I was ever going to use them anyways. And then some people I just wasn't really all that interested in using. In addition, I have also added two new titles. First one being Cruiserweight title, which is now going to be on Raw. So we will see a new champion crowned here at Bad Blood. I felt like adding one new title to each Raw and SmackDown, at least for the men. I might do a women's mid-card for each brand as well. I'm going to see how that goes. And then I retired the NXT Heritage Cup because it was one of the NXT titles, but I realized that the Heritage Cup is actually a really cool idea to use on the main roster. So I had to make a new Heritage Cup championship, which is completely fine. Here in Journey Wrestling, there's no like trophy or anything that I can use for a title, so it's going to be coming in the form of a belt, and I made sure that the title would always be defended in 2 out of 3 falls matches to make it that a bit more realistic, as that's kind of how it is in real life. And this is going to be on SmackDown, so like I said, I probably will end up adding women's mid-card titles for Raw and SmackDown, but for now I just wanted to do one set of men's titles. I can probably save that for the next pay-per-view, and with all that out of the way, it's now time to book Bad Blood. Now, I thought about going through the whole process of what I wanted to book for this, but I also think it'd be kind of interesting if I showed you guys match by match, segment by segment, what actually happened on the show, because I do have a few surprises and a few interesting ideas for this pay-per-view, and I kind of want you guys to just be along for the ride as it happens. So I think I'm going to pre-book everything and then play it out, and you all are going to see everything as it goes without all the pre-planning. So without further ado, here is the Bad Blood card. And now it is time for Bad Blood, and first off, we are starting off Braun Breaker versus Kit Wilson. This is going to be a match for Braun Breaker to win. I'm obviously going to be building up Braun Breaker, and I hope to utilize him very well. Next, we have a 4-way tag match, A-Town Down Under versus LWO versus Alpha Academy versus Idris Enofe and Malik Blade. Don't really care who wins this. I just wanted to get all these guys on the card. A-Town Down Under wins. Next up, another 4-way match, this time with 4 women. I have 2 different 4-way women's matches to decide new contenders for the women's World Championship, and so here is going to be Tiffany Stratton winning. Next up, we have crazy match, Jacob Fatu versus Sheamus. Jacob Fatu will be going over here. And then here we have a battle royal with pretty much just all the guys that aren't doing anything else on the card. I'm gonna let the CPU decide who wins this, because I feel like that might be interesting. And it was Brooks Jensen that ended up winning the Battle Royal. Okay. But see, I like doing some random stuff sometimes because it allows me to think a bit differently about who maybe I should push and stuff like that. So that is interesting. Obviously, there's some names in here like Carmelo Hayes and Trick Williams that I definitely want to use and push, but I just didn't really have anything for them at the moment. But I think now I can maybe play off something with this result of the Battle Royal. But okay, Brooks Jensen, you might be in line for a push now. And he's starting to get over. Next up for the women's tag titles, Jade and Bianca against Metaphors, Lash Legend, and Jakara Jackson. I am going to have Metaphor win the women's tag titles. Reason being mainly because Bianca, Jade, and Naomi are all in a trio. So basically in Journey of Wrestling, if any 2 people in a trio win the tag titles, then all 3 of them are basically the tag champions, and so I don't really want that. And the only way I can actually even break up that trio is if they're they're no longer champions, so I need the tag titles off of them. But also, Jada and Bianca can probably be doing other things too. And this would be a good way of pushing Lash Legend and Jakara Jackson. For the Cruiserweight title is going to be a ladder match between Xavier Woods, Pete Dunne, Andrade, Javon Evans, Berto, and Ashanti the Adonis. I'm going to give the title to Andrade just because he was Speed Champion, and of course I took that title away just because I didn't really want it here. So now Andrade can have another title and be the Cruiserweight Champion. Next up, another one of those four-way women's matches, Io Sky, Naomi, Roxanne Perez, and Piper Niven. Obviously, Io Sky is going to win this. That was a great match. Everybody got over. Sweet. Love to see it. And so now Tiffany Stratton and Io Sky will probably battle it out to see who is the true #1 contender. Next up for the World Tag Team titles, Judgment Day's JD McDonough and Finn Balor defend against the Street Profits. I'm going to have Judgment Day retain the titles because there's a surprise coming right after this. There's a debut, and it is the Motor City Machine Guns are here, and they are coming straight for the tag team titles, as they should. So that'll be exciting. Next up, Liv Morgan is defending her Women's World Championship against Meiko Satomura, because she's here on the roster, and she is really good. 3-star and all of her attributes, which is really cool, but not good enough to beat Liv Morgan because Liv Morgan's going to retain. But again, another great match where both participants get over. And next up, a 3-way match, CM Punk, Rey Mysterio, and Kevin Owens, just 3 main event baby faces that all could be doing something. And I'm going to have CM Punk win this just because right after this, Seth Rollins is going to attack CM Punk to start their rivalry, and I'm really excited for that, especially because technically they're both baby faces, so it's going to be interesting to see how that works. But yeah, now next up is a big one. Jey Uso is defending the Intercontinental Championship against John Cena. For those that may not know, the Intercontinental title is like the only main title that Cena has never won. So I think you know where I'm going with this. John Cena is going to win. Well, I was not anticipating for that to happen. The red around means that he got injured. He suffered an injury, but I want to wait to see how long the injury is until I decide whether or not I want to vacate it, but that obviously really sucks because I had big plans in mind for Cena as Intercontinental Champion. Well, that's what happens in this game. Some things are just really unpredictable. And then in our main event, Gunther defends the World Heavyweight title against Sami Zayn. Gunther is going to retain. There's one final thing. A stare down between Gunther and Roman Reigns, because this is a match that needs to happen, and it's going to happen for the World Heavyweight title coming soon. And that is Bad Blood. Overall, a really good event. There wasn't really that many bad matches at all, really. A lot of people got over. Some people got upset, but hey, goodbyes. We got fans. Sweet. And now, after Bad Blood, Lola Vice apparently wants to be off, so I guess I'm gonna have to find a way to write her off. I'll see what I can do about it. I want to keep people's morale up, at least at the beginning of the save, so Lola wants some time off, I'll give her time off. Tatum Paxley wants to be in the main event. Please tell me you have something else in mind. Sometimes art imitates life, because that's literally what's been happening for like the past year in real life. So yeah, definitely. And okay, now we build to Survivor Series. Already completed one of my goals, which is to hold 4 3/4 matches or higher. Jesus, did that one pay-per-view. And actually, this is something that I forgot to show as well in the beginning, was the events, because obviously, as I said, I was going to be changing some of the events. So here, Elimination Chamber is now No Way Out. I think this was King and Queen of the Ring, now Clash at the Castle. Money in the Bank is now Battleground. And then Survivor Series was originally in December. I moved Survivor Series to November, and then I replaced Crown Jewel with Deadline. So now we have all the events perfectly named. Nothing to really isolate one particular match type with a certain brand. Everybody is going to be dealing with something, whether it's Money in the Bank, Elimination Chamber, whatever. And then as for my inbox, Kalani Jordan had a dream about Martians. This is one of the few spam messages that you'll get. I wish Journey Wrestling would have more variety in these, because I think usually when it comes to like this weird dream message, it's just this one about Martians. But nonetheless, Kalani Jordan just wanted to update me on that, I guess. Some random people in the training roster gained popularity. Mandy Leon is now available on the indies if I want to sign her. I mean, I already have a big enough roster. I don't know if I really want to sign people. And that includes certain people like in AEW that are likely going to WWE, but it's like, do I really want to sign them right now when my roster is huge? Like, I'd love to sign the Lucha Brothers because they're definitely going to WWE, and people like Ricky Starks as well, but it's like, I don't know. Now for the heartbreaking, possibly, news about John Cena's injury. 6 months. Not great, but yeah, 6 months. I'm gonna have to vacate the Intercontinental title, which I can do that here on Raw immediately afterwards, but that sucks because I had huge plans for Cena to finally be Intercontinental Champion. I mean, I guess technically he now has been champion, but this definitely doesn't count, and so mark my words, when Cena returns from injury, he is gunning for that title. But that is going to wrap things up for this first official episode. Next episode, we will be focusing on the weekly shows, and you'll finally get to see what SmackDown is about as well. Thank you for watching. Let me know down below what you thought of Bad Blood and maybe some ideas you have for this save. And also let me know down below what else you'd like to see me talk about on this channel. Like the video, subscribe for more videos, and yeah, thank you for watching.